All right, today we're going to crack a secret code. And believe it or not, it's one that's hidden in plain sight, right inside the words we use every single day. We are talking about prefixes. If you stick with me, you're going to become a master word decoder. So let's just dive right in. You know that feeling, right? You're reading, everything's going fine, and then bam, you hit this giant word. It can be kind of intimidating. You might just skip over it or take a wild guess at what it means, but what if there was a easier way to figure it out?
Well, there is. The secret isn't buried in the middle of the word. It's right there at the very beginning. Those first few letters, that's the key. They're just waiting for you to unlock the meaning.
So, let's get straight to it and start unlocking these words. First things first, we need to understand our master key. What exactly is a prefix anyway?
It's really simple. A prefix is just a small group of letters that gets attached to the front of another word. We call that main part the root word. You know, the part that has the core meaning. Just think of a prefix as a little building block you snap onto the front.
And this is where the magic really happens. When you add that little block, it doesn't just make the word longer, it can totally change what it means. Take the word appear. Now add the prefix dis to the front of it. What do you get? Disappear, the complete opposite. And just like that, you've made a brand new word with a totally new meaning.
Okay, so now that we know what a prefix is, let's start building our own personal toolkit. In this next part, we're going to look at some of the most common prefixes out there. These are the essential building blocks that'll help you understand hundreds of new words. First up is re. This one is absolutely everywhere. It just means again. So when you recycle something, you're cycling it through the system again. When you reuse a bag, you're using it again. See? Simple.
Next in our kit, we've got pre. This one means before. So if we talk about something being prehistoric, we're talking about a time before recorded history. Or a preview for a movie, it's a view you get before you see the whole thing. Let's throw one more in the toolkit for now. Sub. This means below or under, and the example is just perfect. A submarine is a machine that literally travels below the surface of the sea. It all clicks.
And here you go, a fantastic little cheat sheet for your toolkit. This is such a great reference. You can see how prefixes like trans, which means across, or auto, meaning self, all have these specific jobs. Feel free to pause here and just take it all in, because this little chart is your key to decoding dozens and dozens of words in an instant. Okay, so we've seen how prefixes can add a layer of meaning, but some of them have a very specific, and I think, very powerful job. They completely flip a word's meaning on its head. Let's take a look at these prefixes of opposition.
We already touched on this one, but it's just the best example. You start with appear, you add dis to the front, and suddenly you have disappear. That prefix dis signals the total opposite. Something was there, and now it's not.
Here's another classic. Something is possible, but then you stick the prefix im on the front, which just means not, and you get impossible. That tiny two-letter prefix completely reverses the entire idea. It's pretty cool. And how about miss? This one means wrong or badly. So you can behave, or you can misbehave, which means you're behaving badly. That little prefix tells you exactly how the action is being done.
So the really crucial thing to get here is that there's a whole family of these opposite prefixes. As you can see here, prefixes like un, dis, miss, and im all do a really similar job. They basically cancel out or reverse the meaning of the word they're attached to. You can think of them as the not family.
But hey, just when you think you've got the whole code cracked, language loves to throw a curveball. There's one prefix in particular that kind of acts like a double agent. Sometimes it's playing for two totally different teams. And that double agent is the prefix in. You see, most of the time the code is pretty consistent, but this is the one exception you really have to watch out for.
Okay, let's break this down so it's super clear. On one hand, in can mean not. For instance, if something is inedible, it means it is not edible. Simple enough. But on the other hand, in can also mean in or into. Like when you go indoors, you're going inside your house. The only way to tell them apart is to look at the context of the word.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, learning these prefixes isn't just some boring grammar exercise. It's like getting a superpower. Seriously. It gives you the confidence to look at a huge, scary-looking word, break it down into its parts, and figure out what it means right on the spot. It's a real game changer. So,
Now you've started to unlock the secret code at the front of words. You know how prefixes like re, pre, and un can change absolutely everything. But that just leaves one big question, doesn't it? What secrets are hiding at the endings of words?